Was doing a video to tell you guys about my day. First thing first, thank you for joining me at Gigi's Garden. Except for Gigi's Garden is in the bed at 10 o'clock at night. I haven't had a lot of time to be in the garden because I'm dealing with the children and, a lot of things going on. Today was kind of a bad day. It was kind of overwhelming. The kids were a lot and things were going on and. But today I was talking to my son. I went to his place, which is technically my place too because we kind of share an apartment, but I live here. So, and I was over there talking to him this afternoon, and we shooting a breeze. Then I went to the rent office, talked to those people up there at the rent office, and I had both of the kids with me, so I was in the parking lot of the rent office, and I was opened up a brand new can of formula for the baby because it was time for a bottle, and she was having a little hissy fit, so I made her a bottle, and I sat the can of formula down, and I got her bottle together and closed it up, and next thing I know, the whole can of formula fell on the ground, and it all didn't come out, but I wasted a good half a can of formula, of a brand new can of formula. And if anybody knows how much this formula is, like for a small can, it's like $18 for a small can. And we do get WIC, but you can't waste that stuff because she only gets what, like 4, 6, 8 cans for a month, because she's getting older. But so you can't waste it. So you can't waste it anyway. Don't waste food. It's bad. So that happened. But before that, we were at home, and the kids were just. Aiden was really rambunctious, and he was running around, and he's throwing stuff down the hole and down the basement steps, and it was just a little overwhelming. Throwing stuff off the table, and the baby was screaming, and just an overwhelming day. And this is something that I have to remember my daughter used to have to deal with every single day and night after she got home from working 8 hours and on her feet and everything. But, but just thinking about it, I was talking to my son, and it was this afternoon. So he calls me, and then I went down, but before this, I went down to help my mom out. My mom is very sick. She's old, and she's pretty much given up on life, so I'm just sitting here watching her suffer and things like that. And, the kids were down there cutting a fool. Aiden was acting up. But and Bella was doing her thing, so it was a busy day. It was overwhelming. I got back home and my son calls me, and I just literally pulled. I was checking my mail, and he's calling me and he's crying. He's like, my roommate, his friend came to stay with him for a couple days. He had just got back from Las Vegas, where he was from originally from Las Vegas. He just got back from Las Vegas, where he was in a rehab facility or something, and he was supposed to be, being clean and everything. And Kevin said, he came, and I let him crash here for a couple days. And he said, well, today his phone was going off and going off, and his family was calling and calling and calling. And he's like, I yelled to him, hey, because it woke him up. They work third shift, and it woke him up. And he's like, hey, you need to answer your phone, see what these people are saying. The guy says, okay. Fast forward back, I was talking to my son at 12 o'clock this afternoon, a little after 12. His roommate, who just was there for a couple of days. I mean, he wasn't his roommate. He was his roommate before, but he was just a friend of his. But he was just there for a couple of days. Had committed suicide in my son's apartment, in our apartment. And my son called me, and he was he's just tore up. He's like, man, this was like one of my best friends, and the only reason I let him stay here because he said he was clean, for a few days. Or a couple months he was clean, so he just got out of rehab. He just needed a place to crash until he got his place, but he committed suicide in my son's apartment. So why is it's just crazy. So after I dealt with that, with my son, he's having a fit. He's just struggling, going through it with that. And because this was his really good friend. He went to wake him up for work because they worked together. And, he said he never thought of anything about it because, after they got off from work last night, he was fine. I don't know. He must have said something to his family. And the reason why his family was calling all day. And, Kevin, he didn't know. So he's called me. He's bawling. The police, he called the police, and the police came, and it took about 2 hours for them to come and get the body. So he's dealing with that. It's always something. But then I was cooking the kids dinner, and they were in the high chairs, and and they were fussing and yelling. So what I like to do is give them a little something. So I give them a little handful of cereal, and so I grabbed the cereal off the top of the refrigerator, gave them some cereal, put a little bit on each tray, on everybody's tray, on both trays, and then close the cereal box up, put it back up there on top of the refrigerator. Didn't do it right. I don't know what happened. I turned around and went back to the stove so I can cook. Boom, cereal box fell. Bunch of cereal just everywhere, just dumped out all over the counter, all over the floor. It's just been a trying day. Now I'm cleaning up cereal, trying to cook. Didn't have everything I needed to cook. Good thing Sharena was on her way home. Like, Sharena, please stop past the store and grab, another box of macaroni. I need it to do some stuff. I don't know. Tomorrow Aiden's got a doctor's appointment. So hopefully I can have a good afternoon, a good morning, and a good afternoon at the doctor's with the kids. And guess what? Monday I'll start back to work. So, it'll be a way of disconnecting a little bit. It's only part-time, only a few hours a week, but, and it's, I need to go back to work, so, I don't know, if I get back to work, maybe I can get out of my own head for a while, and get my routines back in order and get things, back the way they need to be. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It's been a rough few weeks, but I don't know. We'll get it together, and then I might get my last bed prepped. That's what I'm looking forward to. Getting all my garden beds prepped for the spring, since I'm not going to be planting anything else. So, I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later. Remember, be kind. It's free. You never know what people are going through. Pray for your friends. Pray for your enemies. Pray for your family. Because we all need it. And Jehovah wants everybody to make it. We all need to make it. We have to pull together to do that. So, okay. Take care.